Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Tony Walsh here. Got Jackie, my sidekick, riding with me. If you remember, I told you last week I was going to get skin cancer surgery, so we're fixing to hit the road. So don't know how much they'll let me film, so you may see this, you may not, but we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we've arrived at the doctor's office in Savannah, Georgia, so we'll play the hurry up and waiting game. Okay, here I am sitting in the chair. They've just given me the shots to deaden the local anesthetic, so just hurry up and wait. Okay, so that's the spot. They're going to dress it up, and I'm going to leave for about 2 hours and then come back. Okay, this is day 2, so this is, let's see, Wednesday, November 25th. I had the surgery yesterday on the 24th, so we're coming up on, I was supposed to change this bandage after 24 hours, but Jackie worked out of town today, so this is actually hour number 27. So, we got to take this off, so let's talk about that process. So in this stash of supplies, we got non-stick pads, Q-tips, 4x4 gauze sponges, more non-stick pads here, and a wound. And funny story about this, you know, I'm 58 years old, so I'm getting old, and the two nurses and the intern that were in the room, they said, well, this is going to sting a little bit because it's an antiseptic. So me and my wise years said, do you know what mercurochrome is? And some of you may not know what mercurochrome is, but if you're my age and older, that is the devil's spit. That is a red hot fiery liquid that your mother always put on your skins and scrapes, and it burns. This here wound and skin cleanser cannot be any worse than mercurochrome. If you don't know what mercurochrome is, go find an older person and ask them. Okay, also in the pack is a powder called Collagen powder wound dressing that you mix up with water to form a little paste, and it sort of acts like Vaseline more or less, just to fill in between. If you can tell what it looks like in there. It looks more like Neosporin. You know, and you just put it on top of the wound, between the wound and the bandage. So Jackie has to mix that up. Okay, as I said in the other videos, I'm a wuss for pain, so we're fixing to see if this hurts or not. Go turn that light on. I don't know if that helped more light or not.
He always does that.
I did that to the nurse yesterday and made her jump, but I made sure she didn't have the needle in her hand. And again, this has never hurt, even from the surgery. I have had minor headaches, so I've stayed on some ibuprofen. And the headaches have come from, I sit at the house all day today and either watch TV or watch YouTube on a computer. And because both of my eyes can see this bandage, I think that's what has given me the headaches. Because as soon as I'd quit watching TV or YouTube, the headaches would go away. So you can see the scar right there, what they cut out. To me, it's smaller than a dime, you'd say?
A little bigger than a dime.
Yeah, so Jackie says it's a little bit bigger than a dime. Now, he didn't have to cut deep. He just had to cut wide. But he did have to cut twice. And I'll talk about the surgical procedure sometime in one of these clips. So now she's cleaning the wounds with that wound cleanser I was talking about. And you see there's no blood dripping, so haven't had any issues with bleeding. Like I say, no pain, which was surprising. And there are no stitches in here. So what they done was they cauterized the wound with a laser. Now, I said there was no bleeding, but don't want to be too graphic, but that was on there on the bandage only. And that's been on there since the surgery yesterday.
Pause it for a second.
I messed her up because she was using that as a template, so now she's got to get it unfolded and make sure she cuts everything the right size. And this will be done every 24 hours for until it builds a scab on it, which is a good scab. And he said it's probably going to take about 3 weeks for that to be done. Well, 3 weeks for it to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how that scab looks, I may go a couple of days without it. The one thing that's going to be hard, though, is I said, do not pick the scab. And, we're all, when them scabs get itchy, we all want to pick. So while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and talk about the surgical procedure. So it's a procedure called Mohs surgery, M-O-H-S, and that was the doctor's name, Frederick Moe, or Frederick Mohs. And the doctors that do this are doctors that took an extra 2 years of dermatology studies. And so they're actually, most of them are dermapathologists. I'm not sure if the doctor that done mine was a dermapathologist or not, or if he had a pathologist sitting in his office. So they made the first cut, scrape, whatever, and sent me away to go eat. They bandaged it up. I went to Outback to eat, was gone for 2 hours, come back. They took me back in the room. So in the meantime, while I'm out that 2 hours, they freeze that sample. Then they put it under a microscope. And they look for the margins around the edge to see if they got it all. Of course, when I come back, he said we got to go a little bit wider. So they took me back and cut some more. So then I went and sit out in the lobby for a little over an hour, maybe not quite an hour. And they called me back and said they had it all. So the good thing about the Mohs surgery, in this case it wasn't so bad, but in this one over here, where I was really cut, what you don't want is for them to say they got it all, stitch you up, and then call you back in 2 weeks, and they got to come cut open that stitch mark and do the whole thing all over. So the good thing about Mohs surgery, they do everything in one visit. There is no going back. They got it all when you're done. So if you ever have to have skin cancer cut out, try to find someone that does Mohs surgery. Now, not every site, like on arms and stuff like that, they usually don't do it. It's usually around facial areas, ears, eyes, nose, sensitive areas that they may do the Mohs. But always, if that is an option, don't let it scare you away, because it's a one and done deal. You're not going back from multiples of trips. Because you can see this scar starts here and goes all the way to here. I'd hate to have that thing cut twice. In this one here, they cut out better than the size of a quarter. The one that was behind my left ear, it was just like a little mosquito bite. See, it only took like 2 or 3 stitches, so it wasn't Mohs surgery.
Feel good.
Mm-hmm. And you use non-stick pads because you don't want gauze getting into the wound, because then you got to clean the gauze out. So it's always non-stick pads, non-stick tape.
That's it. You're done.
And that is it. So that is done for day number 2. I'll bring you back when there's some changes. Hey everyone, welcome back. So we're into day 9 of my after skin cancer surgery. So I'm still wearing the bandage every day. I have to wear it until a scab forms all the way over it. I don't let it air dry at all. Maybe for an hour or 2 at the house I might go without it, but obviously I work in a hospital, so it's full of germs, so I don't want it exposed there. And if I'm out in the yard, in the garden, or in a peanut field, I sure don't need dust in it. So the bandage on the nose is there 23.5 hours a day. So just want to pull it off. Jackie's going to clean it out to where you can see what it looks like on day 9. Okay. Doesn't hurt. Haven't had headaches since last Friday. My eyes have got used to seeing the bandage. So don't know how much of that you can see. She's going to clean it out with that antiseptic stuff. And we'll let it air dry for a little bit before we put the bandage back on. And again, this whole series is really just to encourage you to get yourself checked out by a dermatologist. So all she's doing is taking that wound cleaner and just cleaning out the collagen that looks just like Neosporin. We're just cleaning it out at the bottom of the wound. That way fresh collagen can go back in. Again, I don't know how much of that y'all can tell, but that's what it looks like. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been 2 weeks, so it's day 14. So time to change this bandage. If I can get it, grab a corner of it. So that's what it looks like. I can get the bandage off my finger now. So I don't know how much of that you can see. So it had a pretty good scab on it a couple days ago, but then it came off and having to start back over with it. I think in one of my earlier clips, I said it'd take 2 to 3 weeks, so we're at week 2, so we may take 3 weeks to get the scab on it. So again, there has never been any pain with this. And again, my whole goal with this is to encourage you to get yourself checked out. Don't let the thought of this kind of surgery scare you away. It's been, like I said, been no pain, no bleeding. In this case, no stitches. But because there's no stitches and it was cauterized, it's taken longer for that scab to heal. Or a scab to form. So I'm not going to bore you with putting the bandage back on. Just wanted to show you what it looked like after 14 days. I'll wait 3 or 4 more days and I'll bring you back. Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is going to be the end of this video series. It's been 3 weeks and a day since I had the surgery. And you can see I've just pulled the bandage off for today, and it's not forming a scab that stays, because when we put the bandage on during the day, when I take it off at night, you can see it's like the bandage is, because it's a non-stick bandage, we did not put collagen on it this morning, which is the Neosporin type stuff, so it still is like it dissolved the scab, but it's not raw skin down there. It's got like a little piece of skin forming. But if you noticed on that last clip, you seen a red ring around it, like it was infected or just the skin was real red, irritated or whatever. That has gone away. This still never hurts, and I think some of the issue is because I wear a mask all day long at work, and that the bridge of that mask runs right across the bandage on here, so it's like there's that constant rub for 8 to 9 hours a day is not letting it scab up. But this past weekend I didn't wear a bandage. I let it air dry the whole time and it looked great. So I think it's just the mask is what is slow healing the process. So there's no sense me keep dragging this series out, because the whole point of this series was get yourself checked out by a dermatologist. And if you have to have some surgery, don't let it scare you. This process has been great, and again, I use the Mohs surgery, so you can look it up. Just don't let skin cancer get away from you. It can turn into something ugly real quick. And again, this part here, it was not red, it was not discolored, it was just like a little low, it's like the skin turned white. And again, I attributed it to wearing a mask since February without a bandage, just maybe that it was just where that piece of metal rubbed on my nose, but nope, it wasn't the mask cause that. It was actually a piece of skin cancer there. So I hope this has been somewhat, not entertaining, but somewhat informative, but again, really just encouraging you to get yourself checked out, and don't be scared of the surgery. Jackie will tell you, and she's in the background behind the camera, so you'll hear her cackle. She knows that I'm a wuss for pain. I cannot stand pain. And this did not hurt at all. So I hope somebody will take this message to heart and don't let skin cancer get away from you. So with that, if you like this series, or this one video that was over 3 weeks' time, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you're a viewer and not a subscriber, subscribe to us. If you're an existing subscriber, I appreciate all your support. But until then, y'all take care and God bless.